Hey guys, hope you're having an amazing day. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Ultimate Claims plugin. This right here is what it looks like, and if you didn't know, it also looks like this over here, and I'm pretty sure you guys get the point. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So what are some key features of the Ultimate Claims plugin? First of all, custom claim sizes. So different from most claim plugins where you usually have a certain amount of blocks that you can claim or a certain amount of chunks that you can claim. See, the difference here is it's not based on chunks or blocks. They can claim as much as they want, but it gives an in-game cost with in-game items per chunk. So if somebody has 6 chunks claimed, they're going to be paying more to keep their claim than somebody who only has 3 chunks. I've looked at so many different claim plugins and nobody has tried to do something like this. Also, there's claim sharing. That's something very popular and very useful. You can invite your friends to be in your claim, also set their specific permissions on what they can do. And also admin tools where you can override claims and be able to manage your server, which is perfect for server owners. Let's show this in action. All right, so we're gonna hop over into Minecraft. Okay, here we are in Minecraft. You can see I have a little house right here, and I want this to be protected. Right now, it has no protection. Anybody's able to come in, blow this house up, and completely destroy my beautiful creation that took me 5 minutes to set up. And no, it's nothing completely special. I mean, it's kind of hideous. It's just a little starter build, but I care about this build, right? And I'm sure you care about your things. So what we're gonna do to start off is you're gonna wanna press F3 and G to be able to open up chunk borders. So once chunk borders are showing, you'll be able to see that there's borders along here. So right here we're in a chunk, right here we're in a separate chunk, and same going this way. In order to start a claim, what you're going to do is /C, and then you're going to want to do claim. And all of this is completely customizable with permissions. So once I run that, you'll see there was a neat animation. And then it says you have 10 minutes to create a Powercell before basically the entire chunk is deconstructed, right? And dissolved. And we don't want that to happen. So how are we going to make ourselves a Powercell? So first, what you're going to need is a chest, and you're going to need some iron, and you're also going to need diamonds. I'm grabbing a stack of each. All you're going to need is 5 iron and 4 diamonds to get your claim started. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open a chest inside of your claimed chunk, make an X with the iron, and fill in the rest like a crafting table with the diamonds. And there you go. Now you have a claim. It says how much time is left. Perfect. Exactly what we want, right? And if you do happen to forget that recipe, or your players forget the recipe, you could do /C recipe, and then it'll pull up the crafting recipe, what you need to put inside of a chest inside of your claim in order to create the Powercell. As you can see here, we have the claim time. Right now there's 10 hours. And as you notice here, the diamonds and iron that we use to craft it actually aren't consumed. So you're able to take out your iron and your diamonds, and then you will be back down to 10 minutes and you can start panicking and lose all of your things. But I'm going to go ahead and put that back in. You can also see that if I add all of the diamonds and all of the iron, now I have 6 days of protection. Beautiful. Nobody is going to raid me, right? Now let's look at some of these customizable options that I was mentioning. As you can see in here, you can store economy. There's also, you can see the items stored and the time. This is how much these items give you, right? So there's 9 minutes on top of that because of the 10 minutes of protection that we have before it starts consuming items. And then we have our bans. So these are people who are banned from entering your claim. And then here we have settings. Now this is where it gets very, very important. So right here we have hostile mob spawning. We don't want those. They stink. Turn that to false. Fire spread, you can turn that off. PvP, you can make it so that you can't hit other people inside of your claim. There's also mob griefing. So think about creepers or endermen picking up blocks like they love to do. We could turn that to false. Leaf decay, we could turn that to false. We can turn off TNT griefing, which is already off right now. And then also fly, we can turn that on or off. I'll go ahead and turn that on because, I mean, I'm in creative, but say I was to go into survival, as you can see, you can fly inside of your claim. So if I were to go outside and I'm flying and then I go outside of my claim, I'm not allowed to fly now, right? So very, very cool feature there. Very, very cool. And all of these are by permission. So if that's something that you want to have for a specific rank on your server, that's perfectly fine. You can completely customize all of these things here. next you could see your members. So here you can go in. This is where I was talking about the different settings for different types of players, right? So I can go under visitor settings and I could change what they're able to interact with, if they're able to break things, if they're able to trade, if they're able to open doors or interact with levers and things like that, if they're able to kill mobs, if they're able to use redstone, right? And then I can go into member settings and there's all those same options. So you can even have your friends here, but make it so that they're not able to interact, right? They're not able to open up chests, but they're able to open up doors and things. Or maybe they're able to open up doors, but you're the specific builder, right? You don't want them messing with your build. So you're the only one that can break and place blocks. So there's many different customization options, and it is so customizable. So that's pretty much everything in here. But how customizable is it really? Like, cool, you can change a few options, but how do I know like the worth of the diamonds or the iron, right? So now we're going to open up the config, which you could see here. You could see the Powercell recipe, right? Which I'll show you where that is located in a second. You can see the item values, which this is configured in the items.yml. This is just redirecting it to that. So you're not really going to worry about that in here. You can set up your economy. You can set up your hologram plugin. So that's going to be the plugin that shows 6 days left, things like that, right? You can also see your Powercell economy value. So how much money should constitute 1 minute. So basically $100 in game would be 1 minute, right? So you can change the cost of everything. You can have it set home automatically, which is something that I didn't show yet. But say I want my home to be right here. I could do /c set home. And there we go. The home is right there. So now if I do /c home and then my claim, which is here, then I teleport there, right? So if anybody is teleporting to your claim's home, if they're a member, they can also use that to be able to teleport to your claim if they have their own claim, etc. So now let's go back in here. So you can see there's so many different customization options. There's the starting power. So this is how many minutes is like it starts with, right? So for my example, and by default, it starts with 10 minutes. You could also change the name character limit. So this is the amount of characters for a claim rename. So here, let me show you. So I go over here, right? It says you're exiting Old Rising's claim. You've entered Old Rising's claim. So if I go in here and I want to do /c name, and then I could change this to whatever I want. So I could be like starter base. And there we go. Now it says starter base, right? You could change the maximum amount of chunks. So this is the maximum amount of chunks that any player is able to make. And this is a hard cap, right? And then the maximum amount of regions a claim can have. So this is the different locations for a single claim. You have the maximum amount of members a claim can have. So by default it is set to 10. And yeah, there's so many different customizations. So you can see the hostile mob spawn and fire spread and things like that here. Those are by default set to true. But you can change it so that by default, they're already disabled, right? For example, TNT explosions is set to false by default. If you want that to be true, then you can go ahead and set that there. Same with flies, same with all these options. And then you can also change the defaults for here, right? So by default, visitors cannot break, cannot interact, which would make sense because you don't want your players to make a claim and then be like, why is everybody breaking all of my things, right? But if that's something that you want, you could do that here. And then same with members, they're defaultly able to do all of the things, and then visitors are defaultly not able to do any of the things. Right here, you can see there is Dynmap support. So if I pull up the Dynmap here, then you can see, if I give it a little refresh, there are 2 claims here, right? So there's this claim that I just did, which updated to starter base. And then there's this claim here, which is called enemy base. You can also see the owner, and then you can also see how much time you have left. This is perfect for a feature like this, because what if somebody's not able to get on? They can go into their browser, they can look at their claim and make sure, oh, am I still alive? Oh yeah, I have 6 days and 16 hours, right? And it is very well implemented. I'll show you here. So say, for example, let me go ahead and break this, right? You get all of your items back that weren't consumed. Nothing was consumed because I was still within the 10 minutes. I could do /c unclaim, and you get a nice little animation, right? If I go back to the Dynmap and refresh, now you can see that claim is gone. There's no claim there. I'm going to go ahead and do C claim again. And then I'm going to go ahead and make my Powercell. Beautiful. I have 10 hours remaining. So now let's look at the other config here. This one is arguably more important. So here there's items. And you can see these are the items that you can put in and their value, right? That is the items that are inside of the chest here. So basically the weight of these items, how much time do they give, right? Diamonds by default, they are set to 120 and iron is defaultly set to 30. So say I wanted to add, right? I'll just go ahead and copy this and I'll paste it here. Change this number to 2 and then vanilla, let's do diamond block. And make sure that it's formatted correctly. And we'll set the weight to 120 times 9, which is 1080, right? Go ahead and save that. Now you can go back into game. And right now, if I go into game mode creative and I get a diamond block and I put that in here, it's not going to do anything, right? It's actually going to pop out, right? So it doesn't take this item. It says, no, I don't like you. And we don't like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do /c reload. And that's going to go ahead and reload the configuration files, right? And it's going to add what we had changed, right? So now when I put that in and I leave, now that gives us a day and 4 hours, right? Beautiful. You can add this for any item. If you want them to be able to use coal, if you want them to be able to use copper, any item in the game, you can add and give it a set value, right? Perfect. Also the recipe here. So this is the recipe for creating your Powercell. So that's the recipe that you're going to be putting in a chest right here. As you can see, there's 9 items because it starts at 0. So you could change this to whatever you want. It has the slots here so you can know what order they're in. So this is the top row, middle row, bottom row. You can even add more items in different slots. So if you want to take up the whole chest GUI, you absolutely can, right? Completely customizable. Now, say for example, I built this base and I go over here and I do a claim here. And I'm like, I don't like my starter house anymore. I want to build an absolute masterpiece like this right here, an absolute masterpiece, right? This is way better. We got commodities, we got things. And I'm using this base a lot more than I'm using that base, but I put my Powercell over there. I want my Powercell over here, right? So what you can do is you could go ahead and break your Powercell. Just break it. And then you can head over here and you have a 10-minute gap, right? Before your claim gets deleted. So then we can go over here. We can go ahead and put in our iron, put in our diamonds, and perfect. We're back to normal and our Powercell is now over here and it's all a part of one claim. And if we go back to the Dynmap, you can see now we have both claimed, right? Beautiful. Now, what exactly is this protecting, right? So let's actually see it. So first of all, what we saw is we have flight, right, inside of our claims. But let's test the block breaking, right? Let's go to this other claim and let's see what exactly is blocked, right? So I come over here, I try to break this grass, can't do that. Try to break this dirt, I can't even do that. Try to kill this pig, well, guess what? I can because he's not in the claim, right? So there's so many different things. I'm not the owner of this claim. I can't open the Powercell. Oh no. And let's say I go into game mode, creative, and I grab TNT, right? And I get flint and steel. And maybe even creepers. And I go back here and I de-op myself. Now, if you place a creeper egg, well, I can't even do that, but let's say I put it here, right? And I push him in. And I'm like, haha, you're donezoed. I'm blowing up your base. Oh no, mob griefing is disabled, right? If I blow up a TNT on the outside, although this part isn't claimed, right? So this will blow up. There's no griefing done to your entire claim. So we can see the value of this plugin. Really, really cool features. I absolutely love this plugin. And if you're looking for a claims plugin, I definitely recommend it. This plugin is by Songoda. Right here is their website. They have so many different plugins for multiple different things, right? They are an absolutely amazing, amazing group of devs. You can also, there's a link right here to their Discord. If you have any problems or compatibility issues, you can go ahead and make a ticket and they will be on it as quickly as possible. So definitely recommend this plugin. Definitely recommend checking out Songoda's other plugins. One thing that I forgot to mention, and it's something that I had enabled the entire time, which I think you probably have noticed. You could see here there's particles on the ground, right? If I turn off my chunk borders, you'll see that there's particles on the ground here, and also over here. In order to do that, you do /c show. So now it's disabled. So now it's going to look like normal Minecraft, right? There's no particles on the ground. You can't really see where claims are, but when you're exploring, you could do show so you can see where exactly you want to build, because you may not want to build next to somebody else's claim. So it's a very easy way to see where the claims are. Green would be your claims, and then red are enemy claims. You can see it's a really easy way to be able to understand where exactly claims are without having chunk borders open, and it also shows you the edge of your claim. You can very easily tell that the edge of the claim is right here, and also over here. And if I open up chunk borders, you will see that is reflected. You can see that line there and that line there, and then same over here, and you can see right here. Very, very cool feature that they added. Really happy with this plugin, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's pretty much it for this plugin. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask down in the description below, and I'll be sure to answer as many questions as I can. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later.